You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. The alleged Gilgo beach killer is expected to be in court tomorrow, and Rex Heuermann's estranged wife is planning to be there too. This will be the first time Asa Ellerup will be at one of his court appearances. Now, her attorney tells Newsday she wants to see and hear the evidence presented in court for herself. The Massapequa Park man is charged with the killings of 3 women and is the prime suspect in a 4th. Now, to read the latest on the Gilgo killings investigation, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And another key player in George Santos' campaign has just pleaded guilty. So what does this mean for the congressman? Sherry Einhorn reports.
A former campaign fundraiser for embattled Republican Congressman George Santos is now facing up to 20 years behind bars. 27-year-old Samuel Milley pled guilty today in federal court to 1 count of wire fraud. He admitted impersonating a high-ranking congressional aide in order to solicit campaign donations. He also admitted to fraudulently charging the credit cards of contributors. Under the plea agreement, Milley agreed to pay more than $109,000 in restitution, more than $69,000 in forfeiture, and $470,000 to an elderly contributor he's accused of duping into transferring the money.
It's a young man who's made a mistake. He's a very intelligent young man with a very bright future ahead of him. He recognizes that what he did here was make a mistake, and he's done the right thing.
Milley is the second campaign staffer connected to Santos to plead guilty. In October, ex-treasurer Nancy Marks admitted she filed reports with the Federal Election Commission and the Republican National Committee that included the names of false donors.
It definitely doesn't help his case.
Newsday White House correspondent Laura Figueroa Hernandez says each time someone in Santos's circle pleads guilty, it has an impact on his own criminal case. He's charged with wire fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and making false statements. He has denied the charges.
It provides the federal authorities more ammunition, more evidence as they're building their case.
Milley said nothing to reporters after his guilty plea. He's due back here in court in April for sentencing. In Central Islip, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Farmingdale School District is once again offering support to its students following a deadly bus crash involving students in Ohio. 3 people died and 15 were injured earlier today when a truck rear-ended a bus carrying students. As a result of the accident, Farmingdale superintendent announced the district would delay its season of Thanksgiving event. This comes as the group Long Island Pizza Strong presented a check worth more than $100,000. It'll go to the families affected by the deadly Farmingdale bus crash. The fundraiser's organizer, a father of a student in the marching band, recalls what his son went through.
I said, what are you upset for? Like, why are you upset? Why are you crying? He goes, because we don't see Mrs. P. She was on the bus in front of us, and we see everybody else but her. I'm like, right, maybe she's helping people, Don't worry, maybe she went with somebody in an ambulance, Don't think the worst right away.
Band director Gina Pelletieri and retired teacher Beatrice Ferrari were killed in the September crash. And Santa Claus has arrived on Long Island. Hundreds of children met with Santa at the Roosevelt Field Mall today. And instead of getting gifts, kids brought toys to donate for Toys for Tots.
People during Christmas don't have enough toys, so we have to deliver as much toys as we can as possible to help as many kids as possible.
Now, Toys for Tots is a national program run for the Marines. 3 Garden City schools participate in this event each year. And the Heart and Soul Tour is coming to Long Island.
Do you remember when it first started?
Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago will play together at Jones Beach. The concert is not in September, but on July 28th. Tickets go on sale this Friday. And the Mets officially have a new manager, so what will he bring to the table for the team? Team Healy reports from Citi Field.
Once again, the Mets introduced a new manager on Tuesday at Citi Field. This time it was Carlos Mendoza, formerly the bench coach for Aaron Boone and the Yankees. Now the Mets' 5th manager in 6 seasons, which is a rate of turnover that speaks to the chaos, really, that has surrounded the Mets in the years before and since Steve Cohen bought the team.
We prioritized finding a manager who could not only impact and lead our team in the dugout, but who could help us shape an environment throughout our entire organization as well. And I firmly believe that Carlos has the ability to do that.
I'm getting emotional here. I understand the city of New York. I've been here for the past 6 years, and I know how passionate the fan base is and the expectations that they got here. I am ready for this challenge. I see this as a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity for not only Carlos Mendoza, but for the New York Mets.
Stearns said he liked Mendoza because of his abilities to build relationships, his knowledge about baseball, of course. Mendoza is a longtime former minor league player. Mendoza checks a lot of boxes for the Mets. He passed the test on day one, and now we'll see what happens come spring training and regular season. I'm Tim Healy for NewsdayTV.
All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather, and we have tonight's lows for you. It's going to be a chilly one with temps in the 30s. Unless you're in Montauk, you're hanging out with temps in the low 40s. Taking a closer look at tomorrow, we have mostly sun and clouds all day. It's kind of a mixed bag with temps in the high 40s.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
Today we're touring the living shoreline at Patchogue Shorefront Park. Steve Langford has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
I grew up 2 blocks from here.
Village of Patchogue Mayor Paul Pontieri likes what he sees here at the recently completed Shoreline Improvement Project.
Is there more flooding now than when you grew up here?
I don't ever remember flooding when I grew up. Not to the degree that I've seen over my years in office.
To deal with the flooding and to improve water quality, they replaced the old bulkhead here with a rock wall and added a bioretention basin.
All these plantings were put here to filter the water.
It's not just Superstorm Sandy that changed things here. The mayor recalls heavy rains and flooding here by Shorefront Park last December when it all froze a day later, just ahead of a big night at Lombardi's by the Bay.
He had 600 people coming for Christmas Eve, did it, and they were frozen in. We came down, we salted, we cleaned it up for them, but it was because the water had nowhere to go.
This was a $5 million project, half paid by the state, half paid by a private foundation. They've upgraded the path here, raised the level of the park, and added benches and landscaping.
I love it. It improves it, and it saves the shoreline. And unfortunately, it won't stop the flooding during a storm. Nothing will here. We live on Long Island.
This March will mark the mayor's 20th year in office here. This shorefront project, he says, is special.
It's a message to other people in other communities that you can make a difference.
Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
Now, to read more about the living shorelines, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Splatter paint parties are sweeping the island. Lisa DiStefano has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
It's wearable art, splattered clothing.
You could be creative with color with your article of clothing. You could add metallics. It really is a fun process.
Eileen Sharon creates her splattered clothing outside her West Babylon home and hosts splatter paint parties.
Hey, we're having our own DIY party out here, so how do we begin?
Okay, so you're gonna pick your colors that you want and we're gonna put them on the board. And I'm always gonna start you off with white and glitter.
So never have too much glitter.
Yeah, that's a
I like
orange. Pink? Do you like a purple?
Yeah. Ooh, that's
a good one. All right, you're gonna use aggression. There's no right, there's no wrong.
Stand back. Don't come between my pipette and my masterpiece over here.
Eileen can help you make your own, or if you don't want to get messy, purchase the unique pieces Eileen creates for customers of her brand Nobodo.
Listen, you just created wearable art.
I did! I love it!
It's just fun, and the overall outcome is you're saving the planet, you're teaching people about reducing fast fashion, saving money, upcycling, recycling, and just being themselves.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
All right, looks like a lot of fun. Now, to read more about the splatter trend, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
I bring to light issues that are happening in schools, in police departments that matter to Long Island that they didn't know about. This is a story about an issue that they needed to know the answers to.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.